Tampa Bay Damage, a team very well known for their consistency in the Pro Division and always being the team to be. In 2011, they ended their year taking first in their last two events and a series championship at World Cup. Going into 2012, they continued with their dominant performance, winning the Galveston Island Open. But this event didn't reflect the rest of the year.
For 2012, we basically came into the year starting out hot because we just won Cup. Then we also won Galveston starting off the season, and then after that it just seems like we couldn't get it together.
Felt like we were on top, and I don't know what happened. We just weren't playing as a team or something, and things weren't clicking, and other teams were just playing better than us. And I mean, the whole year sort of felt like that. Like we were playing decent paintball, but just not damaged paintball, basically.
It was not clicking for us. You know, we dominate through the prelims and get to the dance and not be able to finish it. So it was just hard. We couldn't find a way to get over that hump.
We're trying to lead up to World Cup, and World Cup we came out, we played great. Went up against Heat though in the finals, and we just couldn't do anything. I mean, they just pretty much just controlled us from one point to the next and didn't do anything. Disappointing end of the 2012 season for us. I mean, 2013 is a new year, and I think we're going to be ready.
Going into the new year, Damage was looking to have a fresh start to the season and made some changes to the team.
Going into the 2013 season, we made a change at our coaching position. Coach Paul is a great guy, a great mind, really good at what he does. The problem that we had is that he got too close with the guys. He's a traditional coach, line one, line two, line one, line two, line one, line two. I needed a coach with a different mindset. I needed a coach that was going to change things without changing my roster. After seeing Hinman go over to the Ironman, thinking to myself, you know, you got two alphas there with Skinny and Hinman. I figured the smart play was to talk to Skinny, and I did, and got a deal done, and now arguably I have one of the best coaches in the game.
In addition to having a new coach, there were also some other roster changes.
In the offseason, we were talking to Justin, trying to work something out. He wanted to play both leagues. We were only playing one league, so he made his move to Impact because they were doing everything. With Dave, you know, it's nothing but love for Dave. We really wanted to try to work something out with Dave, just couldn't get it done. I think the traveling was getting to him, coming all the way to Florida. That's a long flight, so he made the choice to stay with Impact. They do a lot of West Coast practices, which is real easy for him.
When J-Rab and Dave left the team, they left together. They both went to Impact. We ended up getting Brian Smith back, who retired for a year.
I got hired with the fire department, started a new career with them, and the first year you're not permitted any vacation, so after that first year I was able to return back to the team. I had the itch and, you know, couldn't not come back, you know what I mean?
I talked to Rainey in the offseason. Rainey said that he wasn't sure what he was going to do. With the Ironman having a new coach and all kinds of stuff happening there, I put some feelers out to him and said, hey man, if you're not going to play with the Ironman, and you're going to go somewhere else, give me a shot before you commit to anyone else. Closer to the actual start of the season, he called me and said, let's do something, I want to play with you guys. If I don't get a deal done with you, I'm going to go to Impact. So at that point, I said, yeah, without a doubt we'll get a deal done. I'm not going to make Impact better by letting you go there.
We've been playing against Rainey for years, and we know his skill level is awesome. So when we get a chance to hop him on our team and fill a void missing from J-Rab and Dave, Rainey's a pretty good fill for our team.
Damage heads to Dallas, Texas for PSP's first event of the year. Their first match is up against Chicago Aftershock.
Yeah, I mean, they're inexperienced, so I mean, you know, when they come out against us, we're just going to control them from one end to the other. I think that's the game I almost got in a fight with one of the kids, so they were getting sort of pissed off. Hey! Go! But I mean, we were just running through them. They got penalties and just allowed me to pretty much run up the middle. And everybody else, like, we'd shoot their wide guys, and I'd have a free run right through. And I mean, we did it almost every point, whether it was me or Jason, someone just going right up the middle on those kids, and they can't really do much.
I like Vicious a lot. They're a good team. So us playing them, we can win or lose to them, I think, at any time. So if you're not playing good, you're not going to win that Vicious game. Vicious is great at shooting on the break, but they don't make adjustments. If we notice that certain spots are getting keyed, then we adjust. And they just didn't adjust to us, and we ended up running it. A lot of people thought us losing Dave and losing J-Rab, like, it meant that we were not a good team or not going to win any tournaments or anything like that. And I just thought that was ridiculous, and I wanted to show everybody.
We wanted to go out and prove to the world that, we're damaged, we're still here, we're competitive, and, we're shooting for the top and where we belong.
It was unfortunate they had some penalties in the beginning, and that was probably going to be our first real match, but whenever somebody gets penalties like that, I mean, you're playing 5-on-3 against some of the best players in the world, there's not really much you can do. I mean, it just sort of went downhill from then on out for them.
I'd say them getting the penalties not only hurt them, but just kind of hyped us up a little bit more to score as many points as we can, as fast as we can, and just kind of prove a point.
You definitely can't go out losing to two members that just left your team. You have to prove a point. So we went out there, beat them 7-3, and maybe overshot some people in the time, but they would have done the same to us, so we forget about it after the game.
Without a shadow of a doubt, that was a game we wanted more than the first two games. And we had the game pretty soundly in hand, but by them getting the penalties, it just made it look like we blew them out. Anytime you play the Russians, it doesn't matter what Russian it is, 1.0, 2.0, or current 3.0 Russians, you have to expect them to be a strong team. The majority of those guys that live in Russia, they play 5 to 7 days a week. They play more paintball than anyone else, so even their bad players are good players.
The points were pretty close. I think we were up 3-1, and then Brennikov got up in the middle of the field and started chopping everybody up.
Brennikov shot a bunch of people. It was like a 5-on-2.
He's still there, he's still there, he's still there, he's still there, Brian. Brian's still there. Come on, guys. Jason!
Thought I was doing a good job holding down the Dorito side, and little did I hear, Joey screaming from the sideline, Brennikov on your side of Snakes, just you and Keith. So I got lucky, hit on the Dorito side of the bunker, wasn't even using it really. And then went out and traded with Malloy, and Keith got into a one-on-one with Golem. I think he snapped him down the wire.
Yeah, buddy!
Yeah, we fucked that up.
Hey, I'm sorry, guys. I fucked up.
Keith ended up sealing that deal, and that does take out the fire when you bring up another point. Instead of it being like a 3-2 match, now it's a 4-1 match.
Hey, we're not talking like we were, guys. There was a lack of communication.
There's games that we win that I'm like, we played horrible. Like, it's not the style of play that's going to win a tournament. It's just thank God we won.
Chad, he fucked up when he ran to that Florida. Whether someone wants to call in Florida or not, it doesn't matter. Ask your buddy Jake. Jake, you didn't talk to him very much that match. Okay? So there's little things like that. I didn't mean to point you guys out, but everybody fucked up 1 or 2 times.
We all absolutely fine too. We are nowhere near 100% yet.
SK came up to us, and we all sort of knew it. He didn't really have to. Sometimes you'll go 4-0 in the prelims, but you're not playing good enough paintball to win, and that's sort of where we were at. We were winning the games, a lot of it just on individual skill, just gunfights and being able to win individual battles, but that's not going to win tournaments.
Step it up from here. This is nowhere near the fucking top. We fucking start playing real paintball after this.
That's right, guys.
Team up 3, team up 3. 1, 2, 3. Team.
The semifinals, we went up against Impact again, and as everybody knows, they got a lot of penalties the first match in the prelims, and they definitely wanted to come back and try to prove something against us and play 5-on-5 paintball.
There's only one person left, Dorito side and tower. I happened to come around and my gun was pointed towards his head. So I would just say it's bad judgment on both of us being the same height.
There's those couple of teams in the league that you always battle it out with, and Impact's definitely one of those for us. I don't know if that's something to do with Bart, and he kind of knows our style of play and the individual personalities of our players, but they just seem to really shoot good lanes and adapt to our game plan very well and quickly.
Against Impact, one of the points, me and Jason were doubled up in a can on the Dorito side. I look over on the tape and I see the ref doing the whole head point, screaming, "Player, you're out, you're out." And me and Jason are like, "Who's he talking to?" So I start walking out, and then he shakes his head and points at Jason and calls him out. So I was like, well, shit, I'm not shot yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and dive in the Dorito, and luckily it made it in there. But then they pulled me out anyways, because if I call myself out or make a signal, technically you're out.
I just posted up in front of me, but I was in a horrible spot because Joey just started yelling. He just came into the snake or something. I was like, oh shit, there's a guy right here. He just started battling right away, and he didn't give up, and I'm like, he just worked me over. Anytime I stand up and I get bonus ball or whatever, it's a thing they want to make sure that guy's dead. So it's kind of a compliment. I appreciate it.
They got a penalty, and that immediately pulls 2 more bodies, and I knew Greg Sewers was the last one left in the Dorito. If I know there's 1 body left, I can't stay and watch a team sort of just try to work the player out. I'm gonna go bunker the guy. It's just how my head works.
It was a back and forth match, and then I think we went up about 2 points on them late in the match, and then it came down to a really long point. Joey's on the sidelines, coaching, and as J-Rod was coming down the snake, I knew he was right there and was waiting for him to, he was basically on the other side of the bunker with me, and he came out and just put a good snapshot, and I missed him, I guess.
After that point, there wasn't much time left. We grabbed another point, so we were up by 2. We knew that with the little time that was left, that they were going to come hard.
5-3, there wasn't much time left. They were coming really hard. They scored 1 more point against us. We went out and did the same exact breakout, but did it better and ended up holding them off. It was 11 seconds. Moorhead was freaking out. They're all screaming. This guy's playing with hits on them, but we're screaming, they're screaming, everybody's got hits on them. It's going to happen in 11 seconds. At that point, I think the refs are more or less just making sure there's not going to be a fight. And if there's nobody on the field clean, hanging the flag, it is what it is.
I never really think about it oh, hey, we knocked them out of the tournament or anything like that. I think I was more happy that we beat them twice, and we just showed everybody that we're the real deal. All our core people are playing with each other. These are guys I've played with since I was, 14, 15 years old. So we just kind of proved to everybody that, we're still competitive. We're still a top-tier team.
Hey, there's only one way we can lose this fucking tournament, and that's getting fucking majors. That's the only way. Other than that, we play 5, we're gonna win the fucking points. That's it. We win the points, we're playing with 6 guys now, okay? All right. All right, let's do it.
All day, one love.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go, boys. Go, baby.
It's somewhat exciting for SK because everybody is wondering whether or not the team's going to be good. They got a new coach, they lost a couple players. You come in and they just won the semifinal game, which is going to seal their deal. They're going to play for first and second. He definitely wanted that win.
That first point, I got shot off the break, which was a surprise to me throughout the entire tournament. I was doing the same thing over and over again, and finally, somebody caught up on it.
Alex got up the snake and was able to get a shot on Keith, so it left me and Jason left on the Dorito side at this point, and only Timmy on the snake side. Well, Alex shot Keith as well as shot Timmy, so that killed our whole snake wire. So now it's me and Jason left on the Dorito side. I remember Alex just popped the top on the snake, and I just luckily got a shot on him and took him out. And then I saw Ryan fill in a snake, and it was just me and Jason left on Dorito side, so I jumped back to the snake side. And then at that point, Ryan was already in our head of snake, and then it's basically a one-on-one with me and Ryan playing each other. I'm picking paintballs off the ground. I completely ran out of paint. So I'm picking paint up, trying to snap with him. I'm like, this is just not smart at all. Jason is making a great move down the wire, and Ryan doesn't see it. And I think Ryan might have backed up trying to shoot me or stand up, and then Jason shot him. So like I said, I was out of paint, so the only thing I could think of is like, get the flag. So I ran right at the flag, backed up, and shadowed Spica out with one of the pins. Spica was concentrated on Jason at the time and ran to his side of the field and was able just to make a surprise shot on him. He didn't really realize that I moved to his side. I mean, sometimes you can come out and blow a team off the field, which is a great momentum boost in a way. But if you can also pull out a crazy situation, that's a great momentum boost as well.
All day and Timmy. Timmy.
Hey, there you go, Jack.
All the way.
The only thing I did at Dallas, I did one thing. I just ran a snake every single point. If you were scouting us, you could definitely probably be like, okay, Holiday's out there. He's going to run the snake.
Look for a snake on the break. Holiday's in.
A lot of times I'm like, screw it. Like, all right, yeah, I'm going to run there. But you got to shoot me and we'll figure it out. But they did shoot shit out of me.
I think the only people left was Oliver and Dalton. Well, while I'm playing the snake side, Dalton makes like a great run down the Dorito wire and bunkers out Jason. And it was my fault because I wasn't looking that way, but I was trying to win the snake side. But after that, I was left in a 2-on situation against Oliver and Dalton. Well, what I didn't know is Oliver's gun was down the entire time, but nobody told me his gun was down. So I'm playing the can like as tight as I can, trying to hide from both of them. And I was kind of pissed off because I would have known Oliver's gun was down. I would have just threw some paint at Dalton and just took off running for the flag and ran right past Oliver and tried to hang it. It was just clusterfuck. So at this point we were down 2-1 with 10 minutes left. I mean, the mood in the pit was good. I mean, it was just another match. I mean, it was no different than anything else we've been into.
Alex ran down the snake side. I thought I was putting shots on him. I'm pretty sure that he had shots on him, but I didn't hit him enough to draw any kind of penalty. Ended up leaving a 2-on-1, me versus Blake and Yosh. Got a good shot on him, moved up the field. I remember looking up, like I was directly under the scoreboard. I looked back and saw the time, and I just figured, if I could keep him on the other side of his bunker and Keith could come out of the box, Keith would have a clear shot on him. So I just battled for my life. Little did I know that Keith tripped coming out of the penalty box and ate, the ground. Yosh, he's got a good shot. He's a veteran. So he put a shot on me, made a nice little squared up one-on-one right there.
Yosh isn't going to play with him that much because why would Yosh? They're up 2-1. They're going to stall games just like we stall games when we're up on somebody. So we knew we had to try to push the tempo on him. Keith made a move for the mini race. Obviously that bunker sucked on that field, but it was a way to try to get to the flag.
God damn it, man! Hey, move on. We're good. There's more paintball to play. Forget it.
got on Dorito 1 and got a cross-field shot on Oliver and didn't leave anything, I guess. And I tried taking the move to the next Dorito. I had a ball broken like on my pack. I think it was for me diving on a ball. Tony came in and threw a major on me, and that was that.
Yo, let's go, motherfucker. Step it the fuck up.
Once you go down like 3 points on a race to 7, it's very hard to come back, especially against a team like Dynasty.
I just start seeing a ref run from the Dorito side just all the way back this way, and I'm like, oh, if you're making the ref run, he's gonna throw a flag. But there's a huge hit on my pack. I didn't feel it at all. When my penalty went up, I was like, game over. While I was jogging back to the penalty box, Chad burst out like crazy, and he just started playing like this is the last chance.
And then I just had to basically ride or die, so I got out of the box. I knew Alex was in snake 1. As soon as I saw an opportunity to bunk out Alex, I ran and bunkered Alex out. And shot him first. He spun and caught me, and they called us both out, but I definitely caught him first. And then Jacob got a nice shot on Dalton because Dalton sort of got lost in the chaos, and we ended up taking that point.
4-2 and 2 minutes left. You really don't have to do much on the field. Sit there and cross up. Dynasty definitely did a good job locking it up when they were ahead. Playing for first and second, 2 tournaments in a row, and then getting second place. Second place, and might as well go home on Saturday. That shit sucks.
Going into MAO, our first match was against Tauntauns. We were just beating them down so fast, they really didn't know what was going on.
At one point, Steven last year run Snake off the break, and I had run Dorito 2, I think, off the break, and just heard him yelling Snake. So I just had my gun in there ripping, and he just sticks his head up and just, it's like playing whack-a-mole, just his head stuck right up into my paint. It's one of those matches for them. This wasn't going their way.
During the off-season, we had open tryouts, and Paul Everett, LP, he took the spot. I believe his first point with us was the final point against Tauntauns.
Played a point against the Tauntauns for the win. We were way up on them. A couple guys died around me, and I was able to make a move down the wire and bunker a slasher out of the 50 Dorito, and then won a one-on-one against Colombo for the win.
She actually almost hung it on the wrong side of the field.
Being a little excited about winning a big point, almost hung on the wrong side.
Hey, wrong side outfield! Wrong side outfield!
But I got some boys on the sidelines, Spence and Joey, helping me out, making sure I don't do something stupid on camera. So it was good. Ended up hanging on the right side and winning the game.
At one point, pitch was in the 50 Dorito, I think. I posted down the wire and literally just started shooting and came out and snapped and got like the best snapshot of my life on pits and just caught him perfect. It was great.
So we were up on them 2-0. We come out there again. I think we're up 5-2. It was Marcelo and Pitts. Those guys just, made it happen. They ended up winning a 5-2. They're good paintball players, so it happened.
The MAO layout was pretty ridiculous. I mean, me and Rainey were right next to each other. We wanted to try putting something together, but you couldn't. The field just played just stupid slow. I was bored out of my mind because we couldn't do anything. Me and Rainey had our brief conversation about the field layout, and finally Rainey told me to switch, and when I switched, luckily enough, Marcelo just happened to make a move and I was able to catch him. And once that happened, it freed my wire up and get up the field and then catch Mouse as well. Once I got that kill on Mouse, they just conceded the point. They didn't really have the time to waste.
They either are always in the box or they're playing you, grinding you point to point. That's also playing our former coach. Definitely don't want to lose your former coach.
X Factor is one of the most bipolar teams there is in paintball. Luckily for us, when we played them that match, they were the blow-up X Factor, you know? It wasn't really that hard of a match for us, thankfully, because when X Factor's on fire, they're definitely one of the best teams out there.
We already know we're guaranteed in, and we've already won 3 out of the games. Infamous needed it more than us. They were also shooting us on the break very good.
They were just on top of their game at that point. You know, they also needed that win. They have to score like 4 points against us to move on. So even though we went into it, you know, motivated, they had to have been super pumped to play that match.
When they were up on us 4-2 with 30 seconds left, we were pretty confident that they weren't going to get their 4 points. So we went out, let the match end, went on to Sunday.
Went on to play Impact in the semis again. Definitely felt like deja vu. Just the whole tournament was setting up to be exactly like the previous one, and I'm sure Impact wanted to come out with something to prove after we beat them twice the last event.
And the second point, Greg Sewers ended up getting like a minor penalty. We capitalized on it, tried to close the game down. We had J-Rab trapped in the snake and gave him a couple extra. Joey yells, "Oh, it's just J-Rab." And then the flag went up. So I think that's more on Joey, and I just ended up getting the punishment for it.
During the Impact match, it was 1-1. Everybody behind me died. I was in snake 1 or snake 2, and they had a guy on our side of the field in the Doritos, and I want to say it was a 2-on-1. So I put the guy in across field, saw that J-Rab wasn't looking at me, and I tried to run him down. However, he ran around the inside of the Dorito as I was passing it, and I basically bunkered air, and he caught me from behind and shot me in the back. So, good move on his part.
JC gets a penalty in the snake, and then at the same time I got a shot on Moorhead, and I'm just going to run and bunker the guy. I mean, I knew his last guy left, and I saw the flag go up, so I'm launching just blood in the water for me.
So we had Keith up pretty far in the snake, and it's Moorhead in front, and he always gets antsy. So I had to watch Keith's front. The moment he stepped up, I shot him. It's Moorhead, he's gonna keep going. So people like that, you kind of have to shoot until they stop running. But somehow he still pulled his gun up and shot Keith, so he got a major for it. After that, Jason had like a nice shot on Mondresser in the corner, let us catch up and end up tying the game 3-3.
Hey, this is when we take the fucking lead, and this is when we control. Let's go.
I took the snake off the break, and there was an Impact player in the tower shooting at Keith behind me, and I blew him away from the snake. As soon as that happened, Keith behind me got a minor, and they pulled me, and I was like, oh, damn.
We could probably score the point, but there's really no need. We've scored a few unanswered points, and we've got the momentum, so why not take it into overtime and beat them 5-up?
We took a lot of real estate off the break. I got into the snake, backed up, and I got a shot on Tim Montresher, and from there, after he died, the Dorito side was able to start making more moves.
I think I caught a few people slipping, and you can easily just kill the last person from wherever you are, but I think I kind of want to take things into my own hands a little bit more and go get the kill just to confirm the win real quick.
Hell yeah! There you go, Jason! Win me, baby! Yeah, Jay! Hey, way to fight that, man. We go to the next gear,
this is ours, baby.
We go to the next gear. This is not our fucking best.
Hey.
We show our best next fucking
Hey,
point.
guys, honestly, this is exactly what the fuck we wanted. They beat us last event. Now let's take it back and fucking show people who the real champions are.
We show you the fucking best team is.
All right, Jake.
Hey, let's go. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team! Good job, boys. Way to fucking dig deep.
We knew that we were faced up against Dynasty in the final. It was great. We wanted to get, our revenge, and we were hungry to come out and win. Before that match, I just knew we were going to win. I had that feeling that there was nothing going to stop us. We were going to win this tournament, and we were ready. The first point against Dynasty in the finals, it was a long point. We were up on bodies 4-on-3. I was in snake 2 and I came out just to shoot back down the snake, and Fragy randomly just posted down the inside of the snake and put one ball, hit me in the head. That was just so random, So anyways, I think I was the second guy to die, and then they shot, somebody else.
Looked over and everybody was dead and I was trapped in the snake. Frazy ran me down and we just traded. Nothing I could really do in a crappy bunker.
Second point, we go out, they sweet spot 2 of us. On this layout, we know that they can stall forever. They're not going to come get us. They're just going to sit on us. They'll be happy to win 1-0 because a win's a win. We know it. So we submit the point fast, figuring we'll get 5 up again, we'll come out and try again.
Third point, they shot people up break. Jacob and Keith's gun were down. We're sitting in the pits watching Jacob try to fix his hopper, and coach ends up just, conceding the point. We go out, they're winning 3-0. I'd say we kind of put things together, figured out who was stopping us, which way they were locking everything down.
We sort of knew we had to start picking on the back center guy. He was really holding up our Dorito wire, so we were able to do that. We shot Oliver out of the middle, so the only guy left was Glenn on the wire, but I knew he was turning inside, so it freed me up to basically go down their side of the field, get a shot on Glenn, and take the point. I mean, that definitely gave us some momentum, and we figured out how we're going to win on this field now. The problem is even though we knew how to do it, they're still really good gunfighters, and you still got to be careful trying to pinch the guy out. And we just started doubling our guns up on the guy. It just took us a while, but eventually we got the points and got the moves going.
Whoever the fuck's going through the middle, make sure if you guys shoot 200, let me know.
We were in good position. I was in the 50 snake. It came down to about 30 seconds left, so I tried to do a rundown on the snake, and I thought the guy was right in front of me in the snake 2. Really, he was in snake 1, and I don't know if I got a ball on him or not, but Oliver was in the middle of the field and just lit into me. Put 15, 20 into my back.
Coming down the last bit of the game, you're gonna fight to your death. Hope to God you can gog as many people as you can, and if you can't, you're gonna die, but you gotta die trying. It's one thing to lose to a team, but to lose to them twice for first and second is extremely heartbreaking. It's one of the worst feelings you can feel.
You put so much time and effort into something, and you kind of expect something in return, and second place is not what you expect in return. It was just like, man, when is this going to start paying off?
Your own fucking brother, man. That's bullshit. Makes his own choices. That's bullshit, dude. He thinks he's a man now? Fuck that shit, dude. You gotta he's gonna learn his lesson the hard way, believe me. You tell him this, dude. The Rolling Stone gathers no moss.
Right before Chicago, Jacob decided that he wanted to part ways with Damage and go play for Houston Heat. He left, because of playing time. He didn't feel like he was getting what he deserved.
The whole Jake thing is just our inner workings with our team. And Jake should have went to Skinny instead of Joey. Joey's gonna just say, "You don't like it, get out of here." Where Skinny would have gave Jake an answer of why this is happening.
I think the whole situation was kind of handled in the wrong way. Deep down, I think Jacob was one of our best players for sure. It's definitely a loss for our team. He helped out a lot. Nothing against Tauntauns or anything like that, but I mean, in Millennium, they're a much stronger team. When they come over here, it's one of the newer teams, and they just don't really have their footing yet. I mean, it was just more of a warm-up match for us whenever we play them. So just try to get the jitters out of your system if you have any, and get ready for the next match. Every time you go into heat, it's just another great team. And this is our first time playing against them with Jacob on the other side. Rainey took a knee off the break and was shooting, and he saw some paint spray off and checked his gun and looked all over, you know, and didn't see anything, so he kept shooting, runs into his bunker, and they ended up throwing a major on him, and I think he had a hit in his loader. That's a rough team to play 4-on-5 against.
I don't know if it's just because I finally got to play against my brother, but I felt like I had his number the whole match, constantly shooting him. And I remember at one point they stopped putting him in.
I was the only one on the snake side, so I didn't really have any protection, so I backed up in the back of the snake. I knew Fedorov was going to come. It was only a matter of time. Joey told me he was coming. I came over the top. I shot him a couple times, and I got down real fast. Well, he kept coming to get me, and he got a shot off, but he shot me like over my head in my back. I was like, you know, ref, come on now. I completely got him first. Anyhow, he got lucky, and they pulled us both out.
Hey, fight back, boys, let's go! Fight back, Dennis!
The score was 4-2. We shot a couple off the break and ended up shooting a couple more and left Slowiak on a 1-on-4 against us. And I mean, we just fell asleep on him.
He ends up shooting Chad out, and then he just takes off running and shoots me on the run. It was like the luckiest shot I've ever seen.
It came down to a one-on-one with me and Nick, and you know, shot him on one side, on his left side, and you know when you put the paint there, and he actually took accountability for it after the match, and that was kind of funny, but it's part of the game, and it's just the way the cards got played.
That was a huge momentum killer. Whenever you lose a 4-on-1, it was pretty brutal.
Jacob went up the middle, got shot in the hopper, didn't feel it, switched sides, ended up getting a major. We won that point, and then we go out there the next point with them having a penalty and drop that point. Luckily for us, Mishka has a hit on him somewhere, ends up getting a dirty hang, no point.
It's weird because it kept us in the game, but for a good 20 seconds we were all like, shit, we just lost. Any kind of hope, whatever, winning the game got deflated as soon as we saw all our players walk off the field and Mishka running in to hang the flag.
They ended up getting the major, giving us that gift, then a dirty hang, giving us another chance. And we go out, we win a point, and then that was it. Basically, there was nothing that we could have done to win that match, even with everyone trying to help us.
When you're on the team to beat, you can't go out there and make mistakes. That's what we did that entire game, was just mistake after mistake.
Losing to your younger brother is never easy, especially being his first event on that team. I've always dreamed of just playing with him in professional paintball. So that alone made it hard. You never want to let the younger one win.
We're on fucking 1 or 2 when we give a fucking point away. We're giving away the fucking crucial shit. Nothing is easy here anymore. We can't give anything. We have to take everything.
I just simply told him that there's no room for errors, there's no room for mistakes. If we make a mistake, it's going to cost us. That we're one of the teams that everyone's coming after, and they're going to give us their best game. So we have to give our best game to everybody, and if we don't, we won't win. We ended up being construction workers out there. We're just trying to clean up paintball a little bit, so we were out there picking up trash and trying to make the place a little bit nicer for everyone.
First match Saturday, we played Upton. Great group of guys, very respectful. They're new in the league and they're gonna end up being a top team later on. They're just growing.
They're a solid core team. I mean, just a couple more years, they should be winning. If they take a beating, they learn from it. And I mean, just because we beat them 7-0 that match doesn't make us lose any respect for them. Out of any of the new pro teams, they're the ones that have the most respect out of the peers.
We were 3-0 against them at that point that year, and we knew we were in their heads. It was the last match for both of us. We were both 2-1. It was win or go home for both teams.
I shot J-Rab on the break, but he shot back and he hit me in the pack. So I end up getting like a minor penalty. He ends up just getting pulled off the field while he's playing on. We end up grinding it down to about like 5 seconds left on the clock. So I counted in my head like 5 seconds. And then the horn went off right when I shot. Then they gave me a major penalty for coming out of the box early and shooting a player. There was 3 seconds left on the penalty for my minor.
There's not 2 Timmys, so they decided to put someone else in the box. So they threw me in the penalty box, and they didn't tell Timmy which penalty was his and which one was going to be mine now. So we assumed because he is responsible for both of them, he's going to go out on the first one that he actually received. The time ran out, and Timmy comes out of the box.
I came out running because I had my minor expire, and then they pulled me a penalty for leaving early because I left for me leaving early. So they made me serve a minor and a major, and it was all under my name. It's real confusing, but if the refs should have been able to stop the clock and figure it out. I had 3 penalties and 3 points, and all 3 of them were like, only one of them was legitimate packet. That's 3 penalties that were starting 4-on-5, and then a 3-on-5, and then a 4-on-5, and that gave them enough points to like kind of rally up. And I told SK I was done and playing after that point. I sat myself on it and like I was mentally like gone.
Anytime you start out a game like that, you haven't had a chance to even play the game yet. You haven't had a chance to play 5-on-5. I think the score ended up being 4-1 when we're all saying that, okay, it's 5-on-5 now, let's go play. After what has already happened, it's pretty hard to come back from that, especially against a good team.
I made it to the snake, trying to get down the snake, get some quick kills, and a ref randomly pulls me out. And I'm like, where am I hit at? You know, I didn't know I got shot. He's like, in your hopper. Well, evidently, that was from the last point where I didn't get it off in the pits, so yeah, lucky them.
After being able to play 5-on-5, we were able to bring the match back to within 1, and I mean, after that, though, they sort of figured out what we were doing to win and just shut it down again, just killed the time on us.
They got to the point where they could kind of watch the clock a little bit more, shoot their guns, and you know, seal the win for them.
Yeah, last point against Impact was sort of more desperation. I think I got a kill or 2, and Holiday tried the same thing behind me, but a little too late. I mean, but I can say I tried.
They were kind of expecting us to come through, and I don't think Tim did it maliciously, but you know, I came right into his field of vision, and you know, all he sees is a head. If it was me, I'd shoot it too.
That's a gut check. I mean, sometimes you need to get put in your place and realize that you need to go out and practice more. Impact wanted it more. I mean, we could have won both of our games on Friday and locked us in for it, so we dropped the ball on Friday and we dropped the ball on Saturday, so.
You go from placing 2 second places to getting knocked out early, and it's just a reality check that, you know, some of those practices you might want to go home early, or you're tired of doing stuff sometimes. Is, you know, reality check that you have to keep putting that extra effort in because other teams are doing the same thing.
Going into Riverside, we were looking to make a statement with the first match. Drew X Factor, Paul Richards' team again. Can't lose to him. Can't happen.
You got to respect X Factor. A lot of good players on that team. They haven't been clicking this year, but who knows? It's the first game. They could show up and click this event. So I believe it was 1-1. Their snake guy came running down. Keith snapped him out like a champ. The guy continues on, shoots Keith, gets a major, well earned. We run, I think, 4 points in a row on that major.
This is a deciding factor of whether Tampa Bay Damage is still a top-tier team. Everyone's wondering, are they, a mid-tier team now? Are they not going to always be in the running? Because we really just played like shit the last tournament. So going into it, everybody took it really seriously.
We play them all the time, all year, every year. You know how they're going to play. It's almost as if you're practicing your own team. Bobby Villas is using every part of the tempo to battle with me. So I decided that it was time to ride or die and just stay out and make it rain basically. And we ended up trading out, which always works out in that kind of situation.
They had to come get me, so my coach was making it very clear to me, chill out, stop, watch the flag, make them come get you.
Make him come. Yeah, you don't have to shoot him.
That was tough for me at the time. I actually kept snap shooting with them and playing with them when I shouldn't have. The second half of that one-on-one, I just turned it down, stayed inside, and listened to my coach.
He has to come get you. He can't hang the flag. If he comes to bunker you, it's too far of a run, you'll shoot him. Just chill. We drain 2 or 3 minutes off the clock. He tries to make a move. I tell Rumsey to come out. Rumsey comes out, snaps the kid in the face. We win that point. At that point, it's over.
With that one-on-one, it was either going to be 3-2 or 4-1, and I think that kind of gave us the momentum.
Just going up 3 points after that is pretty hard to come back. Gave us the momentum to finish out the game and take the win.
After the first day, and we'd won our 2 games, I was like, okay, this is awesome. We're playing good. We beat those teams pretty convincingly. All we had to do is beat Top Gun, and we're for sure in the semifinals. But no, Top Gun they just worked us over.
It just felt like everything we did, they had an answer for. It was almost as if they were just using our playbook and countering everything.
One point against Top Gun, I actually jumped off the box a little early and knew I jumped off early, and it was so bad I didn't even try to tag back up.
We probably thought they would just hand it to us, but I know if you're in this league and you're playing the top 10 teams, you can't take anybody lightly. All teams in that league deserve to be there.
Not make fucking excuses, let's go win a fucking paintball match. No fucking excuses, just play fucking hard.
I was just frustrated out of my mind. Where's the team that was yesterday?
He gets just as mad or more mad when we're losing. I mean, look, I know we're losing. I'm living it. You don't have to come up to me and tell me. I made some mistakes. I got shot off the break a couple times, but I would have bet $1,000 that we would have beat them. And we didn't. They played better than us. And I'm sure it felt great for them, but I don't think it's going to happen again.
Hey, show the fuck up, boys. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3, 2.
Going to that last match, we knew we just got beat by Top Gun, and Impact was playing great paintball, and we came out and we just knew we had to play our game.
We're 3-1 for them on the year. Obviously, we want to win again to go 4-1 just because it's cooler to be 4-1 than 3-2. We go out, starts out good, 1 point us, 1 point them, 1 point us, 1 point them.
Baines was shooting me almost every point going wide. I mean, every single point, he'd shoot me in the leg or something and it would break, and we weren't shooting them going wide. On that field, if you make it out wide on the snake side and you shoot them, you're gonna win. Just the opposite. If they shoot you, you don't shoot them, they're gonna win, and that's exactly what was happening.
Guns up when you move, guys. Guns the fuck up the whole fucking game. Don't run with your fucking shit down.
One point it ended up being like 4-2 and we're in the pits, and I was like, man, guys, we gotta win this fucking game. You guys, better step up, whatever. And they're like, no, we're in either way. And I was like, oh, well then we can do whatever the hell we want. It doesn't matter win or lose, we're still playing tomorrow. So just try whatever the hell you want, play as aggressive as you want, make them stop you.
Caught you the home holiday?
Yeah, but they're saying 1 and 3, and I was like, okay, we'll go bunker this dude. No, and the home was just ripping in me.
I forgot one of the shots, so like I popped my head up thinking a pin's gonna block out Dave Baines in back center. I stick my head up and just get my head blown off. Just killed my momentum. I just got shot so stupid.
My fucking God!
That point was the nail in the coffin for me, because I was just heated that match. It just felt like nothing was going right.
God damn it.
So it comes down to one-on-one. They're up on us. We know we have to try to push the tempo. We know we have to try to make a move for the flag. Keith tries making a move for the flag and gets shot.
Oh my God! Hey, Keith, man. We threw our bodies away. Don't worry about it, dude. I just lost that fuck, man. God damn
it. That was pretty much the nail in the coffin. They sealed the deal after that. So just move on to the next day and prepare for semis again.
Clean it up, boys. We got fucking lucky to make it through, right? Tomorrow we need to show the fuck up like we did yesterday, not like we did today. Today was fucking awful all around. Let's be smart about what we do. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's fucking stupid, man.
Yeah, we didn't chill life.
We needed to spend some time talking about what we weren't doing right, what we were doing right on Friday, what we were doing wrong on Saturday, and get it worked out so we could do something on Sunday.
Showed us all of our faults, what we needed to clean up. Our different lanes, we learned some stuff against Impact, so I think that we needed to lose those games on Saturday to wake us up for Sunday.
Anytime you play the Russians, it's going to be a battle. They're going to play strategic paintball. They've already mapped you out, so if you're going to play them on Sunday, they're going to have 2 days worth of knowing where you're going and what you've been doing.
The first point, they shot pretty much all of us pretty quick, and we decided to leave Keith alone in the snake, and they proceeded to double bunker him. And after that, we were like, all right, well, they're here to play, and they really made us realize that this is the match that really matters.
Trying to work my way up the Doritos. I slide into the next Dorito and I overslid it a little bit because I'm trying not to get shot by the snake sides. I started to see him like draw out and I was like, oh shit. And I had to like kind of jump back in, but it didn't work. But I tried.
Hey, let's win this fucking tournament. Let's go, boys. Get up, stay up.
Hey, they're starting with 4. They got a major.
Get up, stay up.
No more of that.
Yeah.
You good?
It ended up being a really long point. They immediately went into like lockdown mode. I was trying to shoot at Britnikoff and this little Dorito in the snake's head. I could see a little piece of him and I just kept shooting. And I could never hit it. It was so shitty. Then reach back and have 0 pods. In my hopper I may have had like 15 balls and I was like, holy shit, I really fucked myself. Then it got to the point where I'm that guy staring at the ground, looking at the grass, trying to figure out which paintballs are the better ones. I'm just like, this one, and then, okay, this one.
They had a major and they were able to burn it out, get their guy out of the box, and then they ended up taking the point, making it 2-2. That was point for point pretty much the whole time.
Hey, blow it, they got a minor. That was good, guys. No, hey, Spot, I was hit before I started playing. Not you, we're pushing stupid shit.
Before that match, we talked about trying to push more as a whole field force rather than try to run it down one side. And the points we were doing that, we were winning. And then the points that we decided to just push for your own sake and try to go as far as you can, we were losing. On Sunday paintball, you can't make any mistakes. It's almost like leaving your window cracked in the ghetto. It's just a terrible idea.
After all the previous tournaments of the losses in the finals and then not even making it, and we were down 4-3, our team shook it into overdrive and we're not losing again.
The last point against Russian was scary in a way. They shot pretty much 3 of us, and it was me and Rainey left 4-on-2 against them. And they had to get this point. There wasn't much time left at all. Well, people, I don't know if they can see it or not, my gun was down. The guy's running Rainey down. I can't shoot him at all. Rainey, luckily enough, comes out on the wire. The guy bunkers the wrong Dorito. Rainey shoots him. I have enough time to swab my gun, look inside, start protecting Rainey. The other guy comes to bunker him. I shoot him. And now there's no time left. It's Klum and Brennikov stuck on the snake side to try making something happen. And I was able just to chop the last 2 up coming up the wire. They just were in desperation mode at that point, but we just shut them down. It was a great feeling just knowing we wanted a 2-on-4 to win that match.
Yeah, boys! My gun chose the perfect time to fucking start working.
I felt like we didn't play our best paintball until Sunday. You know, even I'd say we got by in the prelims with just raw talent, and then on Sunday we played as the team that we have been training to play as. And I'd say the teamwork with working with each other and moving together is all we really needed to work on.
1, 2, 3, 2. Hell yeah!
We all wanted Impact for the finals in Riverside. Knocking us out of Chicago and then beating us in prelims, that gave us the push. And it was time for us to stay on top and do what we do best.
They had won the first point. You can kind of see their demeanor. Like, they don't even look at you. I'm like, man, these guys are taking us really serious. Like, they really think they're going to win this game. Wow.
I could look at everybody in the pit and know that we weren't taking second in that event. It looked like everybody was angry and wanted to drive, and we were not taking second. We scouted them after they beat us, knew exactly which players went to each spot, and nobody could make it anywhere on us on that game.
So at one point we shot out the whole snake wire and I heard the whole stand screaming X. I went up there to go bunker him and was going to run through and then saw his foot's hanging out. I was like, oh, I can just drop on a knee. It was pretty cool. Like usually I would have just ran through, but I was trying to be smart at that time. Proceeded to their can or something like that, and then one of the Yakmeks tried running out to try getting me and we just ate him up. So that's a pretty cool point.
Let's go, boys. Don't let up. I knew he was going to go to X, so I just walked Stay on him, Jason. Stay on him, Holiday. Let's go, boys.
We immediately rack up 4 points, and then when you're walking past them, you start to see the frustration on their face, and you're like, yeah. We're winning, and I break out, and I'm running, and I feel a shot in my jersey, and I didn't look down. I definitely did get shot, and then a ref comes in and pulls a major. I'm sure Impact was like, this is awesome, we're getting a break, they got a major. But our guys knew the situation. They started, shooting their guns, holding them up 3-on-5, forced them to actually submit when we just got the major, which is pretty demoralizing.
One of the points, I'm running out of the corner, and I guess Dave or someone thought they shot me in the leg, and we smoked them on that point too. And then I hear Monchester's in the pit, like screaming, on your leg, on your leg.
You wiped it right off his fucking leg. He was hit on the brake. Shut up, you wiped up, bitch.
And Tony, the ref, comes over, he's like, what are they bitching? I was like, I don't know. I was like, there's just being impact. I was like, here you go, Tony. I was like, there's nothing on my leg. Tony just started laughing. I was walking away like, scoreboard, Dave, scoreboard.
Right off, Dave.
Did I not hit him? Yeah, remember, you're aggressive but smart. We get in the fucking spots, we get the kills, then we chill.
Yeah.
I'd just say like point after point was our point. We felt like we were winning convincingly, and every little mistake that they made we capitalized on, and we didn't really make any mistakes. We just went into that match with an extremely good mindset.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
That win just felt amazing. It's been a long time. It was just long overdue. But I guess if you win every week, you don't appreciate it as much. But that one, we've been beat down enough that one just felt good.
Hey, we show up, we fucking dominate, right? Yeah. We fucking go back, we grow from this. We're gonna practice fucking in September a couple times extra. Get the fuck up, boys. Hey, way to be.
Good shit, guys.
Tampa! Hey! Hey! 1, 2, 3, damage!
Yeah, we needed to know that we couldn't just always take second place. We needed to know that first is the only option that we can go for, and we're not going to settle for anything other than first.
What was huge about winning that is we played like shit that entire event. Impact match came around, we played as a team, we gelled, our communication was on point, and we did everything right. We need to play the paintball we did against Impact in that finals match the entire World Cup. If we do that, we're going to win.
They had our number the last event, and we star 69 their ass. To throw it in.
Yeah, I don't enjoy Rainey's sack on my neck too much, but I remember he got pinched out and so did I, and I had to like shove in the bunker, and he decided to shove his package right in the back of my neck. We did go on plenty of sushi dates in California, so we got a little close.
I don't even want to talk about that Slovac point. You can ask Timmy or somebody else about that. It's fucking embarrassing. I'm not saying shit about that point. Next question.
As far as Riverside goes, yeah, we didn't make it out of prelims. Wait, we didn't? What? Say California. Did you just say California?
You're not first, you're last. I'm not quoting Ricky Bobby. I made that shit up. Ricky stole it from me.